Because some of the administrators.
Y'all need help. So, welcome to my 2017 final senior exhibition. I'm almost done, y'all. I'm not done yet. I'm gonna try to be relaxed for this, because I was stressing trying to get this done, because it was like the quickest date. I still got work to do, but it's not that stressful, so it's all fun. So I'll be trying to be as relaxed as possible. So, how y'all doing today? Y'all feeling nice?
Yeah.
With me, I have 4 visitors, 4 individuals that I'd like to introduce. We have my grandmother that you've seen several times here. Say hey.
This
is
Mimo. Mimo.
Mimo, sorry.
We have my mother.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah, her. We have David. Yeah. We have David, who is married to my mother. You've never seen him before.
All right, David.
Just wait. We have my mentor here. Glad for him to be here. He's my newest mentor. And then
Name
we have
is?
Asher. He's
His
pretty
name
cool,
is?
you know.
His name
I'm sorry. His name is Harold Thompson. He's the head of an architecture firm called Harold Thompson Architects. And I've enjoyed every moment, but we'll get to that. There's a slide in before. We'll get to that. So, first, I want to talk about my autobiography. You know, I'm gonna take y'all on a roller coaster. I'm gonna talk about fun stuff, boring stuff, fun stuff. Y'all know how this works. I'm not gonna be like, hey, it was so fun in the end. It's a shame everybody in here is asleep. But as long as they ain't asleep, I'm fine. Y'all grade me. But so as you know, sorry, my voice is gone. I've been sick. But as you know, I came here midway, and so y'all had since freshman year to start this autobiography. I know, right? And be done by senior year to have 100 pages. So 25 pages a year. It's not that bad. Came in midway, and I was told I had to have 75 pages done before I became senior. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? So I managed to work something out to get a plan going. I just had to have a certain amount of pages done by a certain amount of time, because got here midway. I didn't know what was going on. Y'all had stuff. But I still got it done. I got 91 pages.
Woo!
Hey, thank you. You'll let me be the only person who said that. By the way. I just want to throw it out. It's too late. But 91 pages. I did pretty good. I really sped up in pages once I found out that some school assignments actually counted, which was great. When we all found that out, suddenly we were up 10 pages. It was amazing how within 5 minutes we could type so fast using copy-paste. But there are 3 pages, 3 slides of text. I don't know what y'all want to call it. Y'all call it. But there's 3 I want to talk about. I was reading through my autobiography, and honestly, when I first started typing, I realized how dumb I was. I didn't know what I was going on about. It was interesting. I couldn't make a sentence. If I could talk to my past self, I just look at him in shame. Just how you type so bad. But these 3 are the assignments that I'm me on. Y'all know how I just type to be typing. Whatever comes to mind is on the paper, regardless. I might have to censor it sometimes. There might be a sentence deleted here and there because I want that A. But and as y'all know, I don't like to put a lot of words on the screen. I really don't like this. But I'm going to read it. And everybody can see it, right? I've got the school colors. Might as well. It's my final exhibition. And if you can't see it, I will read it, hopefully loud enough. This is my 4th journal by me. Right now, as of this moment, I am currently being forced to write yet another journal. I don't know what to write about, so I'll just type whatever comes to mind. This is my 3rd sentence in this journal. Still typing, whatever. This journal counts because I was told that I was able to write about anything. This falls under that category. By the time I finish typing this sentence, I will be at 89 words, 399 characters without spaces, and 486 characters with spaces. Anyway, I'm still sitting here, typing just about anything. So I've pretty had a nice day today. Don't know about you. You can say it if you want to. Not gonna hear it though. So yeah. The Simpsons is on TV at the moment. Don't know why, just is. Don't know if you could tell by now, but at the moment I'm very bored and I just want to be done with this journal. This is a complete filler sentence that I am currently typing. Still typing. On a good note, I'm almost done with this journal. When I'm done with this, there's a good chance I'm either going to play video games or watch TV after this. Probably both. On a side note, a weird State Farm commercial just came on. Oh, would you look at that? I'm done. By a person who is reading this for some reason. As you can see, I really enjoy assignments that I'm allowed to be me on because I can type. To me, I'm typing about nothing or anything, for those of you who are grammatically correct. But it still counts as an A. So those are my favorite assignments where I can just 100% me, not a care in the world, still manages to reach every point on the rubric. Because this just had to be half a page. It's half a page. Now my second one is an assignment we had from Ms. Jocelyn, I believe. And the assignment was called What's on the Minds of America's Youth? We had to pretty much find what was going on in the world, what are people thinking about, well, who's on what side. So I was being honest, and I said, I don't really know what's on their mind. I know what's on my mind. I don't really care what they're talking about. So this is me just typing about that, just on a little rant, you might say. A frequent occurrence that I see almost every day is on whose side. Are you for Trump or are you for Hillary? Are you for the police or for the people accused by him? Do you think war is right or wrong? These questions are going to seem never ending. So what side am I on? Who do I stand for? Who do I think is right? The truth is, I honestly don't care. I am the neutral third party that watches from the sidelines. To me, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. I put myself in a position to where it doesn't affect me either way. I like to keep my life stress-free, so if something stressful comes up, I deal with it. If it can't be dealt with, I separate myself from it. If someone's being annoying, tell them who they are. If they don't stop, walk away, better yet, put your headphones in. That's what I have on now. Beautiful thing, beautiful invention. I like to think of things this way. It's only a problem when you make it to be one. When you think about it, you usually don't consider some things a problem because you've dealt with it before and you know how to take care of it. So if a problem appears, figure out how to take care of it, and it will no longer be one. This homework is hard. Study more. I can't get enough sleep. Go to sleep earlier. I don't like the school food. Stop eating it. Simple answers that some people just can't seem to find. But you can't say it to them because they think you're being a jerk. Why is that? People hate it when they are told that they are wrong, and they refuse to accept that you're right. But if you agree with them, they think you're the best person in the world. And this is true. And if I like to point this out, I pointed this towards the general people. So if you were offended by this, this applies to you, and you now have the right to be offended. You didn't have a reason earlier, now you do.
How did you get culture of kindness award?
Exactly. That's what I was talking about. I just like to point out, y'all gave me the Culture of Kindness Award. This is your result. This was an assignment I had to have in Miss Hope's class. And at the time, I just wanted to get virtual school out the way. So I wasn't thinking about autobiography at the moment. I think at the time I had about 60 pages, so I did need to get it done, but it wasn't my main concern. It should have been, but so should have a lot of things. So she made us write for an assignment, insert in your autobiography. So this is what I wrote about. At the time, I didn't know what to write about. It was October 17th, 2016. I had an assignment to type in my English notes. We were tasked with typing a topic to write about in our autobiography. We needed to have a subtopic in what we heard, tasted, what we saw, touched, and smelled. So like any other assignment at school, I started drawing something that had nothing to do with the project. At first, it was random patterns on the assignment paper. Then it started drawing on my arm to make it look like there were bricks on my skin. Probably could have done better. While drawing, all I could hear was my surrounding classmates talking about the subjects that were enjoyable to listen to. All I saw was my arm, mainly because I was drawing on it. Tasted nothing but my own mouth. I'm not sure how to phrase that. All I could feel was the pen in my hand and the pen stroking my arm. Yeah, that. The only thing I could smell was air. Made sure that I reached every part of the rubric. I did get an A on this because we had to type about the senses we felt. That's exactly what I did. I was completely honest. There were no lies. I was drawing. And after I drew, I started writing because now I had something I felt. Capstone. Now, for those of you who don't know what a capstone is, it is something that relates to you, you are interested in, and what you can give back to society. When I found this out, at first, I was like, oh, this will be an easy assignment. Because at first I heard the prompts slowly. I heard, oh, it's something that you're interested in. I can do a project about that. Has to do with your internship. At the time, I was interning in a company called Dynamic Essentials, which did controller modding. I can do that. I'm interested in it, and I'm an intern. Perfect. Started getting to work. Third prompt came up, had to give back to the community. I was just, sorry, what? Because I had no idea how to give back to the community while also screwing around at the same time, because that's what I like to do. I like to mess around and still get work done so I can enjoy my life, because I don't like stress. Stated that earlier. So if the assignment's not stressful, it's no problem. Get it done, move on with life. So for me at least, the hardest part of this capstone was thinking of the driving question. The question was like 10 different things. Miss Lynn knows that. Some of the questions were just rephrasing of the previous question, which is now a new question going on to a different question. That did make sense if you guys got lost. It does. I thought about that 5 minutes ago. But, so, to me, getting the work done wasn't the problem. I could research it. I could make a project out of it. That was the easy part to me. I just couldn't figure out what to research and what to make a project about. That was my hardest part. And I still had to give back to the community, because my first thing was just like, oh, I'll do something for me and get an A. Well, so my driving question that I forget every 5 years, or 5 seconds, is how can 3D printing benefit the community? Now at the time, I was really into 3D printing. I was making 3D models, I was going to the library, printing out like it was no tomorrow. Maybe I was printing for a personal project, or I was just printing just to do something because I was bored, and I just wanted to have something pretty to take home with me, and I did. So what I did is, since my internship dealt with modding and the customization of Xbox One controllers and PlayStation 4 and Wii and all the boring crap that probably none of you care about except Noah and Sean, but that was the internship I was before I met Harold Thompson, and it was a nice experience. I got to see how a business would go through Amazon to go about packaging, selling, and actually taking care of things and fitting to the client's needs. If they wanted a zebra stripe controller with purple buttons and an orange trigger, you didn't question their design choices, you just did it, and you judged them silently. Because some guy charged extra for a black directional pad. But the thing is, it comes black by default, so he was just giving us money to giving us money, and I didn't say anything. So you realize how interesting people can be at times. Like a lot. I've seen so many different hand signatures, it's amazing that they finished English class. But, so what I did is, to go through the community, I go through the library every day. It's how I get home, it's how I kill time. Most of you know this, most of you don't, yada yada. So, the library there has a 3D printer, and it's free to anybody who's allowed in the space, which is pretty much teenagers and high school students. Once you graduate high school, you can't go there anymore, or once you turn 18, you can't go anymore. If you reach one or the other, you can still go, but like, you could be a 17-year-old who graduated high school, you can't go. You're out. They won't let you back in. They're not nice when it comes to that. But they're nice to you. They'll greet you with open arms until you're not allowed to be there. Then they'll tell you to get out.
Is this Hickory Hollow, Asher?
This is downtown,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Nashville Public Library.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, I took advantage of the 3D printer since it was free for me. It was great. I got to do anything I wanted. And they introduced me to a website called Tinkercad, and what you can do, it's free for anybody who wants to just start making 3D models for whatever reason or another. And you design a 3D model, you save a file, you put it in the 3D printer makes it. Simple process. And for those of you who don't know what 3D printing is, think of it as a really hot pen with plastic in it, and it's melting. And it draws with that plastic, but because the plastic hardens, you can layer it and layer it until you get the end result. It's kind of like a book with paper. One piece of paper is extremely thin, but once you get enough of it, you start getting a thickness to it. And that's how 3D printing works. That's like the very dumbed down, simplified, sped up version, and and I don't feel like explaining any more into it because there's so much stuff. So what I did, at the library, they have an Xbox One. I just happened to mod Xbox One controllers. So what I did is designed a faceplate here. Now what this faceplate is how it benefits the library. Some people don't know how to take care of things as much as others. Maybe if you want to pass the controller, you might have someone walk up to it and hand it to you. You might see people going, hey, can you catch this? And then just chuck it at them and then wonder why it's in pieces over the floor. So this is what this is intended for. So with this faceplate, say if you have a regular controller, the faceplate is at one hole. If that cracks, you now have the option of buying a faceplate separately, taking the controller apart, putting it on yourself, and there are a total of 5 screws, I believe. So that's the time-consuming part. You got to sit there and and I know because I used to do it a lot. It is very time-consuming. I should have been working, but so it's time-consuming. It's costly because a controller is around $60 or more. You can get it cheap, of course, and get it from eBay or some knockoff Dollar General who happen to have them. I don't know. Well, I don't know where you go, but so this is what this is intended for. So they already have a 3D printer with film. That's already in their budget. So this won't be costing them any extra money. That was my budget. Pretty much nothing. I spent $0. They spent 0 extra dollars. It was great. That was my budget, and that's why I never had a budget, because it wasn't a budget to have. So what this design is the controller is split up into 5 parts. You only have to replace what is broken. Now originally, I was just gonna have this controller as a whole. So that way, you can just print out a new faceplate. But as I said earlier, you have to slowly take it apart, put it back together, go through all the tedious tasks. And not everybody knows how to do that. At the time, it was just me and Sean who knew how to do that. So if we weren't there, they were just gonna be like, well, it's broken. It's broken. So I couldn't have that idea. I needed to have something that was easy for everybody to understand and something that could be repaired easily if broken. So this is split into 5 sections because if this piece is broken, you only have to replace that piece. You don't have to replace the whole thing. And of course, they have different colors there. So if you want to have your own custom set when you come to the library, you can go ahead and print that out, and now you got your own controller that you like instead of just the basic black. Unless you like the basic black, then, well, congratulations. It comes like that. Now, it's broken up according to screws. There's a screw here, 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 and here. Now, because of that, when one piece breaks, you only have to remove 1 screw. That way, you don't have to sit there for like 30 minutes trying to figure out what you did wrong and why it is upside down somehow. Don't know how you're going to pull that off, but at this point, I wouldn't be surprised because people do that. Now, to print out the entire faceplate on its own takes 6 hours. No one's going to sit at the library for 6 hours to play a game. They're going to go home and do it themselves. To print out one of these takes an hour, just 1 hour. People are usually there for longer than that, so they probably have no problem with that. Print it for an hour, go get a controller that maybe isn't broken to kill time, and then come back and get your own custom controller. It's great. The library will have something. When I'm gone, I don't have to be there to make sure people don't break things every 5 seconds. It's great. But sadly, like every great thing, like the dab, light-up shoes, and the hoverboard, it had a great start and then died off and everybody forgot about it. So, yeah. It was great at first. I had about 4 controllers like that. A month went by, saw 3, another month went by, 2, you get the pattern, eventually none. Back to the basic black. Because I guess because since it was just a random recent addition to the things they had to do, they just never found the time for it, and it eventually just died off and they merged back to their old original system, which is understandable. Things like that happen.
Was it possible for you to save that process and then reprint those?
Oh yeah, I gave them all the files separately, and they have people there who are over the 3D printer who know how it works, so they can assist them. It's in 2 sections. The teen zone, there it is. The general teen zone, where you go to watch movies, read a book, get on the computer, all that. And then there's a studio area You go to make music, play games sometimes, design things, engineer, all that good stuff. The 3D printer is in the studio zone. So all the staff in the general zone have to do is go over and ask. They'll print it, and they'll bring it over. Boom. That's it. I didn't really have to do a lot of research for this. I had to do a lot for the capstone research paper, but as for this, I already knew how to do all these things because I was doing it beforehand. And the only thing I really had to research was the budget, and then I found out it was free. So that was nice. Any questions pertaining to capstone that I may have not covered? No? Awesome. ePortfolio. Go ahead and click on that.
Do you have your capstone paper?
Oh, yeah.
You'll come up with that, I guess, in your portfolio.
Mhm.
Okay.
And do you have a controller thing that you made here?
Oh, yeah. I didn't bring it, sadly, but I have made one. It was like a test. It looked weird because the colors didn't match. It was a weird shade of green. I didn't like it. But they have other colors at the library. You ready? Cool. This is my ePortfolio. I don't like pictures of myself, so I'm glad you all like it because I think I look dumb. What is that? Why are my arms
He's
covered?
like, wow.
So much gray.
Boss man,
Watch
CEO.
his gray necklace, shirt. Oh, I got my necklace. But, so, in the portfolio, I talk about my strengths and weaknesses pertaining to school, what I do after school. It's something you've seen about 5 times, 8, I can't count, depending on how many exhibitions we had. We've all done the assignment. But this is an assignment that had come recently, and it was, at first, it was optional. It was great. I was like, ooh, more work that I don't have to do. I don't have to crunch for time. Then it became a requirement because no one wanted to do it. And I was like, oh, well, dang. We just needed one person. One person just had to be enthusiastic. No one was. We had too much to do back there. But I really want to highlight this paragraph here. I'm proud of this paragraph. In this paragraph, at some point, I had to talk about my after-school activities. Now, if this is going to be a portfolio for my future employer, I have to make it sound like I'm doing something for my life. Obviously, if you know me, my after-school activity includes doing nothing, well, sometimes, about 70% of the time, playing video games. So, I can't say that to my employer. What do you do when you're at home, relaxing? Do you plan a business? Are you planning for the future, to take care of the family? I sit on a chair, I stare at a screen. I can't do that. No one's gonna hire me. So, I make playing video games sound like the most advanced profession you could ever get in your life.
Oh my gosh.
Where does it at though? My most enjoyable, it's right here, it's really long. My most enjoyable after school activity above all others is using hand-eye coordination in order to carry out the act of individual or team-based engagement through audio communication within self-created or automatically generated 2- and or 3-dimensional space, animated space, involving the perspective from a first and third-person point of view in order to perform various acts that are either physically possible or impossible according to the set physics of an alternate world in order to complete a given or optional, a given fixed or optional objective. For those of you who speak English and have no idea what that meant, yes, I play video games. Did good.
Boy knows English. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thought about that and went, this is great. Don't know how I came up with that, but I can make things work.
You're a
That's also
genius.
how I did my autobiography, if you wanted to know. It's like, I tie my shoes. Time to get to type. But, excuse me.
Asher.
Why is your favorite in-school activity lunch?
Because I have the option to not eat school lunch. And I get to eat sometimes when I feel like it. On a good day. Tuesday, preferably, when I'm not here.
You may proceed.
But in this portfolio, I talk about various things. One of the things I have in here is my resume. Should be those lines. Yeah. On my resume, I have never typed a resume before. I honestly didn't know what I was doing, so I found a nice template. Who it is? Oh, let me sign it. My bad. But I'm just gonna come visit me. I will not let you in my house. But from a high school education, that's the wrong one. I went to Leeds Academy beforehand. This is where I was at before I met you guys. Don't know that. But it was an interesting school that I will not talk about. But as you know, came to Big Picture High School. You go if you're here now. If you didn't know that, surprise. I don't have a lot of experience, and when I do, it's pretty much at a place I'm already at. COJC Media is the church I used to attend. What I would do is I'd be on the media team, and usually if you go to church and you have those screens, I'm usually the guy responsible for what goes up that screens. I make things look pretty. I do things good. I didn't get paid. Shadowing at Fletcher Riley is one of the many LTIs that I've been at, trying to find out where I wanted to go. And what they were an ad company. They'd make ads. Some ads that you saw on TV was probably made of them. When I was at home watching TV, I saw one of their ads and went, oh, I've heard that about 50 million times. Please change the channel. Because they have to listen to it over again to make sure that it's right. They have to make sure the animation is correct. They have to make sure the information is correct. A lot of things that people don't want to do. And right now, my newest internship is interning under an architect, Paul Thompson. And we'll get to that in a bit. We're almost there. And I have my interests and activities: architecture, modern technology, graphic design, and engineering. That's all I have for my resume. I don't know if that's correct to have, because I've never typed one before, so excuse my inexperience. Go to my capstone research paper. Now, click on the words or I'm here. One, two. It'll be here. Now, I typed a research paper. I didn't have to at first. I mean, I did have to. I mean, during the capstone. But afterwards, we had to type a 12-page research paper. And I had never typed a research paper before. So this was going to be a nice, fun little experience and a roller coaster ride for me. It was great. But on here, I accidentally typed 22 pages because I kept researching and it didn't stop. And I just kept typing a whole lot about nothing. I mean, it was something, but to you all who don't care about 3D printing, it was about a whole lot of nothing. You know how usually when you research and you see a lot of words in a bar graph, and then you don't read it and you keep moving? It was that. That's what this is, the entire thing. I tried to make it interesting. There's a few bar graphs in there, put statistics in there. Interesting is a strong word. But I think I did pretty good for my first research paper. And for my first research paper, after I typed it, I realized that I can make things even more wordy in my autobiography. And in my autobiography, there are 2 games that I said I played. I did a research paper on those games. Yes, I want to die.
Was one of those things?
No. No, it was sort of awesome. But, all right, now go back to my portfolio. Now I'm going to talk about some of my letters of recommendation. My grandmother was nice enough to type one for me, and I appreciate that. Round of applause for my grandmother. This one. I didn't read this because I have faith in her, that she will say nothing bad or embarrassing. So we're about to read this together. Isn't that great? To whom it may concern, this letter comes in reference to Asher E. Davis, a senior and upcoming graduate of Big Picture High School in Nashville, Tennessee. I have been a confident and
Confidant.
Oh, my bad. I have been
Confidant.
Confidant.
confidant, okay, and counselor for him for 18 years and feel qualified to recommend him for employment and or further education. He has proven continued development in levels of maturity and intellect throughout this time. Without a doubt, Asher is an unusual young man in the most positive ways. From complicated mathematical computations to comical monologues, he presents a high level of wisdom. He can captivate the attention of peers, associates, and mentors through rollicking conversations that leave you wanting more. Asher is able to connect on a feeling and a caring basis. He gives help to those who need it without asking for a return on such investment. As a worker, Asher takes the lead in team situations, but is fully able to work independently of others. He has a keen eye for detail, as is evident in his artwork. please allow me to highly recommend Asher for further education and employment. Should you need more information, feel free to contact me. Sincerely, L.B. Gators. I don't know what happened. It happens, okay? It's something happens when I read it. I used to like reading, y'all, believe it or not. Excuse me. But now I would like to go back to my presentation, LTI slide. That should be up in the portfolio anyway. As you know, when I first got here, I didn't have to be in an internship. I just had to be at school. And one of the main reasons I came to this school was because no exams, except now that we have virtual school. We only came to school for 3 days. It was great, you know, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, go to a job you want to be at. It was great. Been at many places to explore my interests. I was interning under an art teacher because I didn't like teaching. Moved to Fletcher Allen. Didn't want to make video advertisements. That wasn't one of my things. I went to Born Again Church to try out something different. At first, I was sitting in a room with a printer, making sure that it worked and it did print. Other times, I was just sitting there on my phone doing virtual school on the phone because they didn't know what to have me do. And then there was a spreadsheet, and I had to put over 500 churches on that spreadsheet. I got about to around 150 before I left. But then I went to Dynamic Essentials, the controller modding company I was talking about. That was a fun experience for a while. And now my newest internship is under the man of Harold Thompson. Now what he is an architect. If you don't know what those do, is he sees to a client who would like a building built. Maybe it might be a restaurant, a house, a business building, whatever. It depends on the architect, really. And what they do is they adhere to the client's needs. Of course, they put their own input in, because not everybody has designed a building, and you can't just throw anything in there. You can't have a door that leads to a wall and wonder why there's a door leading to the wall, and then blame the engineers for it, and you're the one who put it there. So, that's the daily life, and I know he goes through stress sometimes, because some people don't listen to the right things, but he gets paid regardless, so it's great. And because I've been there for a short amount of time, and I just kind of got there, I've had all my times there have been fun. It's been constant. I've lost track of time because I've loved it there. I was helping to design a restaurant. Lost track of time. It was 3:15 before we knew it. I was supposed to leave at 2:15. It was interesting. It
Was
was
that
great.
just a hypothetical restaurant or?
No, this is a
explain that
real
more.
restaurant.
Talk about that.
So